Dear friends, let's continue our journey of pen testing. The machine I'm going to do in this video will be Darkhole 2. The link will be put into the description section below so that you can download and play the machine. In this video, I'd like to demonstrate one of important techniques, Git-Dumper. This utility can help us download Git repository from a website. However, before we go ahead, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and leave a like below. You're greatly appreciated. So enough talk, let's just get started. Of course, here a description for this machine is that this works better with the VMware, and I've already imported the machine into the VMware before I record the video. So now we can head over to Linux VM. First of all, we need to discover the IP address of the target. The utility I'd like to use, as always, would be netdiscover. So as you can see here, the IP address of the target could be recognized as 2.8. And also we can put down such information to our notebook. So the machine information, target machine. And as I know, the IP address of my Linux is 2.2. Maybe let me confirm now by running command ifconfig. So it's correct. So what are we going to do next? We need to do port and self scanning with a map. To save time of this video, I've already completed before. So now we can get out its result. So as you can see over here, I took the options like scene scan, the version scan, the default script scan, followed by the -p- to do the full range port scan. The last option for all is ON to output the result into this file. So from the map scanning results, we can know that the target has two op port numbers. The first one is 22, which is running SSH service and also the version information. And this version 8.2 is not very outdated. Anyway, I don't think we can find any workable vulnerability or exploit for this particular version of OpenSSH. And the next one is 80, which is running HTTP service and also the version information, Apache 2. So by its default script scanning, we know that the target has Git repository. Sorry, my bad. We can copy this information and paste. So the immersion. Just I mentioned this machine involves Git-Dumper or Git-Hack, similar tools to download Git repository from the target website. Before we do that, I'd like to continue our immersion as usual. So now we can fire up the browser to do the manual immersion first. And I put the IP address of the target into the address bar of the browser. All right, very beautiful picture. And the spark, diamond, future city. Even here, it looks like this is a hyperlink. Unfortunately, it's not. If we click this, maybe this box or button, nothing happened. However, on the top right, we can see this login, and this is effective. We can open link in new tab, and this is the user login panel or form. We need to enter email and password. Of course, at this moment, we do not have anything like this, okay? So let's go back to the home page. As usual, we need to check its source code, but nothing at all. And next, we can check whether this site has robots file or not. Not found. So next, we can launch the Nicto to do the automatic immersion. Excuse me. So Nicto, I use the H option to specify the URL of the target, and then we can get the server information or version information, request the header information, and also config. And this would be directory. Let's access this discovered directory, config. And there is file config.php. We can click, but nothing returned. Also, for me, I always check its source code. Sometimes even the page is empty, but in some cases we can find information from the source code. Let's pull up the terminal. It's done. And we, of course, just now by a map, we have already found the Git repository. So now we can press enter. And also we can launch the GoBuster to do the directory immersion. The logout, login, index, this would be home page. Also this one, dashboard, we can access this dashboard. However, we got the error or the message which is not allowed. Maybe this page requires authentication. So maybe we can keep this information in our minds as we go ahead, okay? So now, let's go back. I don't think GoBuster can find anything else. So I'd like to interrupt the GoBuster. So next, how to do next? Just now we have already found the login page. And let's go back the login page. Yeah, here. Maybe next we need to try, because here we need to supply the email. So we cannot use a simple username like admin and password admin to test. However, we also can do the SQL injection testing. Okay, so how to do? We can turn on the proxy to Burp Suite, and then we can launch the Burp Suite and click next, start Burp Suite, and we can navigate to proxy tab, make sure turn on or enable intercept option. So now we can put anything like a test and a password. And we can click login, and Burp Suite intercepts this request. And we can save this request to file. And we can name as or any file name. Then we can use SQLMAP with option of R to specify the request file, and the level equal to or set to 3. Do you want to yes? Do you want to encode but I'd like to tell you, this user login form doesn't have SQL injection vulnerability. Okay, so to save time of this video, I'd like to quit from SQLMAP. All right, so how to do next? Just now, or just I stated at the very beginning of this video, this machine involves one of very useful technique or utility, Git-Dumper. And you can go to GitHub to get down this this utility, or you can use the pip to install. And then let's go back. I've already downloaded this this utility. Now we can go inside this directory. So now we can run Python Git-Dumper, and let's press enter. And we got an error. We need to specify the URL and also the dir to save the downloaded file or directories. Okay, so next, let's run it again. We can copy from the browser. So this would be here, and Git, and we can use any directory name, and this Python or this dumper will create the directory automatically if it's not there already. So now we can press enter, and now this dumper will dump all files or directories from the website. Okay, so now we can go to the backup directory, and we need to look for something useful. For example, go to the config, and here we can find the the database collection credentials. We can copy. Unfortunately, MySQL is not accessible by public, or it's only accessible locally. So, but for now, we just copy this information and paste onto our notebook. So next, we can go back, and we need to work around all files and directories. So how about the dashboard? Nothing here. And so how about the login? We need to know whether we can find credentials, but nothing here. Okay, so next, actually we cannot find anything or any except this database collection. So how to next? We need to utilize very important git command, git log. This will give the history of all commits. Okay, so now, and here I changed the login PHP file for more secure. And so I added login PHP file with default credentials. But just now we didn't find the credential. Yes, we didn't find the default credentials yet, right? So maybe, the code has been changed. So we need to find out the difference. So how to do? We can use the git diff, and we can copy this ID number. And then we can get the, the username, email and the password. So we can copy, and paste in here. And password is very simple, just 321. Okay. So now I think we can use these credentials to log in to the target, and maybe I can turn off the intercept, and we can paste in here 321 and log in. So very simple dashboard. So we cannot do very much. However, if you look at the URL, or the address, carefully we can notice this parameter ID, and maybe this parameter exists SQL injection vulnerability. So how to test? And there will be two ways we can copy this URL. And because the dashboard is, should be authenticated first to access. And there will be two ways to test this vulnerability. You can, open the inspect of developer 2 and go to the storage, and you can copy the, the cookie information. But I'd like to take the second way. And because sometimes you not only need to configure the cookie, but maybe you need to configure other options of the header, okay? So I'd like to use this way. We can turn on the intercept option again, and let's refresh this page. And in the Burp Suite can intercept this request. And we can save this request to file, and we can use rec2 or any file name if you wish, okay? So let's pull up the terminal and launch the SQLMAP again, but this time the request would be different. So maybe, okay, I need to go back. SQLMAP 2, and the level is set to 3. Let's press enter. And because my Linux has cache, so this process is done very, very quickly. Anyway, we can enumerate the databases on the target with object of DBS. And this database is what we want. So we can use the D option. Maybe I can copy from here. And I want to retrieve all tables with this database. Okay, and even we can notice the SSH table. Yeah, it's very obvious. We can specify the table name as SSH, and we can dump. And then we can get the SSH username and password. So now we can SSH to the target. Okay, now we are in the target machine. Let me clear the screen to get bigger space on the screen. So now we can list directory content of current directory. So how about SSH? But we do not need. We need to do some local enumeration. For example, we need to check the bash history. Oh, I think you can notice, the target machine is running the application, the web application on this port number 999. Even we can pass the parameter cmd to run command, right? Like Python 3, like who am I? So how to do next? Maybe, and also we need to know which user is running this application. And to do that, I think we can upload the NumPy shell script to help us collect information, okay? Including this sort of information, what I mentioned earlier, okay? So how to do? We can navigate to temp directory, and now we can copy from toSets directory. And in order to upload this script to the target, we can, set up web server by Python 3. And now let's go back. We can use wget NumPy, and let's make it executable. Sorry about this. NumPy, and then let's run it. When we try to elevate privilege or make a lateral movement, in most cases, we need to, take advantage of this very famous script when the target machine is Linux, because it can automatically collect or gather information about the target machine. A lot of output. All right, it's done. Let's scroll up to see whether we can find vector or vectors to make lateral movement or privilege escalation. Let's scroll up. The binaries with capabilities information, SUID bit, or binaries with SUID bit. But we cannot, I didn't find anything, which can allow us to elevate privilege. Let's continue our scrolling our mouse. So the username information. So Llama, Lucy, active ports. I think, of course, this 3306 is for, or is by my circle surface. And 999, I think we have already seen this port number in the bash history of the user. Which user? Jihad. The Lucy. I think this section is the cron job. And actually Lucy will run this command regularly or every minute, okay? Every second. So I think we can make use of this to make a lateral movement. But we are in the command line. So how to access this one? This port number or this web application running on the port number 999. And this is where SSH tunnel or port forwarding utility, or maybe not utility, technique comes into play. So how to do? We can, maybe I'd like to open new tab. We can use SSH with uppercase L option to specify the local port number I want to set to 999, the same as the remote one. And the remote IP address is the local one because that application is accessible locally. And 999 Jihad. Okay. Oh, sorry, not should be 8, and password is full. Okay, so now we have already set up port forwarding. So from our local machine, Linux can access this application. This port number. So maybe we can turn off the intercept because we do not need it anymore. So now we can HTTP, sorry, and / local IP address and port number. And we need to pass the parameter CMD. And we can use CMD and run the ID. As you can see, the command can be executed as we expected. So now we can, of course, now what do we have to do next? We need to get the shell, and this shell should belong to the user Lucy. And to do that, we need to check the netcat is there. However, if you maybe we can set up the listener first on our Kali Linux. Okay, by netcat, and the port number is 45s. So now we can run bin bash 555, but this doesn't work. And of course, you can try, different reversal command. And for example, you can go to Pentesting website, which contains so many different ways or so many different reversal commands. Usually, I will try this command. We can copy, and we can put over here. Because we need to do some modification. Replace. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this one, and the port number is 555. We can copy and put over here. This doesn't work. And also we can use this way or this command. This doesn't work either. Actually, this command should be encoded, should be URL encoded. We can copy, and then you can go to the subchef to encode. And very important, this option, we need to enable this option, encode all special characters. Otherwise, even because if you disable this option, this command cannot work. Okay, so let me recover this option. So now we can copy and put over here, press enter. I think it's working. And now we have already got the collection from the target. Maybe we can spawn the shell or get the shell, the normal shell. We can check the Python. Python 2 is not there. So how about Python 3? Python 3 is there. So we can import pty module. Okay, so now we can go to home directory, go to Lucy home directory, and let's grab the user flag without any issue. So this is a live main better than a cruise. All right, maybe we can export the term environment variable. And so now we can clear the screen when necessary to get a bigger space on the screen. So now we need to check whether this user can run sudo, but we do not have the password yet. Okay, but please, please don't hurry. We need to, follow some sort of standard methodology to emulate the local or the target machine. For example, we need to check or retrieve the history file. And even here, we can find the password for the user Lucy. So now we can run sudo again, because now we have already got the password. Again, it does work. Even we can use the Python 3 to elevate privilege. This will be very easy. As you know, we can run Python 3 and import OS module and OS system bin bash. Okay, now, I need to put sudo in front of this command. Okay, Python 3 OS module. All right, so now we have already become the root user successfully, and then we can grab or retrieve the final flag. So that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day. Please